Welcome to Theme Park Map Monday, episode 57. It's now Friday and we're still on lockdown, so we're still doing the theme park maps. So this week we got Wet and Wild from the year 2000 or thereabouts. I don't know actually date on that, but from what I remember, it's about 2000. And Wet and Wild was like the original American water park. It was the biggest water park in Florida at this time, right up until, well, just about this time. And unfortunately for them, the Disney World opened their water parks, so they had Typhoon Lagoon, and then later on they added Blizzard Beach, so they took over the popularity because they became theme water parks. And Wet and Wild, a little bit stuck out the way down International Drive, didn't keep up. Unfortunately, it closed completely around 2015, 2016. But luckily, because it was kind of part owned by NBC Universal, Universal had built Volcano Bay, again in direct competition with Disney. Haven't managed to visit this one yet, but apparently it's the bee's knees, and their queuing system is second to none. So look forward to seeing that one. But back to Wet and Wild, say they branded it and they ended up all over America. They were the thrill ride capitals with all their water parks. They had the basics like surf lagoons, but they were the bee's knees. You know, I used to get a lot of like the music channels, MTV and stuff, would having live events going on there, and all sorts like special events at night time. Very much appealing to teenagers. It did have a kids area as well, kept a bit separate with the children's area, but it was catered for them sort of mid-teens, all the 20s, young 30s, and anyone young at heart. They had some amazing rides there, like obviously this one, it almost looks like a sort of alien, like a spaceship. They didn't theme them as such, but they were really good. Got all their regulations and everything. Watching the weather, obviously you got complete opposites in Florida. You've got either really, really hot, or yes, you got the risk of thunderstorms and even typhoons and stuff like that. So when they say get out of the water, you get out of the water and do what you're told. Passes going year-round fun, obviously with the climate in Florida pretty much all year round. Although it can get a little bit chilly, but when you're on those sort of rides, your heart rate's going so fast that you keep warm anyway. You used to do it with the flex ticket, so you got Universal, SeaWorld, Islands Adventure, Wet n Wild, Busch Gardens, everything in there to try to get us sort of massed together to try to go against Disney World. Obviously back then it was a harder case than it is now. With expansions of Universal and the way they're flying, Disney are starting to get a little bit worried now. Bit of payback. All their sort of main places we can grab something to eat. Food in America is generally good, so the parks are good. The Americans demand good food, so you're going to get some pretty good food all around. Pizzas, barbecue chicken, funnel cakes, and Dippin' Dots. Dippin' Dots you can tend to get over here now, but it was pretty much an American staple back then. So let's go over to the actual map. You can see it's quite a sizable park. You know, you saw the picture of the black hole at the front, so that's tucked away in the corner then, so it shows you it's pretty enormous. We've got the main entrance along International Drive. Car park just used to be round to the left of it. Quite fairly visible from International Drive. If you've ever driven up and down, there's loads of shops, restaurants, all sorts down there. And this was probably one of the biggest attractions actually along International Drive at the time. So we go in, I'm going via Surf Lagoon, the big central park with the wave machine. Unfortunately, Typhoon Lagoon, when they put their wave machine in, it just knocks the socks off this one. We've got the Bubba Tub to the right. Again, Disney done much bigger versions of that, you know, family rough rides and stuff, so very hard for Wet n Wild to compete, and they just didn't have the space and probably not the money. So as we go in there, obviously at this point it was sponsored by Fujifilm, so you had a big beach area, which was kind of nice, and then all your branded stuff like here, Fuji Flyer, Mach 5, good old rides, good old slides, all good fun. Going past there, the Surge, the fountain pool, something a little bit ornate, as we say, going through the black hole. Had the knee ski, which was kind of like the typical hexagon Basic very learning to water ski, but on the knee skis. They give this a go. It was difficult for me, but then some people will find it easy. If you're like a professional skier, knee ski you'd have laughed at. Hydra Fighter, they opened about 98, real popular, really silly sort of thing, quite unique. Haven't seen anything like that since, but that only lasted a few years. I think that disappeared in the early 2000s, something there. Then we had the Bombay, Blue Niagara and the Stuka. And Bombay was the one a bit like you've got at the SeaWorld Park, water park now, Aquatica, where you stand in this like open bombshell and you're just waiting for the like lifeguard who will just press a button when you're ready to go. Or when he's ready to go, you don't know it's coming. A flap goes and you just fall, you plummet, your heart rate, you know, say it doesn't matter about the weather because your heart's beating so fast, you're keeping warm anyway. Blue Niagara, the Stuka, pretty good names for some pretty good rides. Very high, very sort of like wobbly. A thing with the Disney parks, Volcano Bay and everything like that, they disguise the height of some of their stuff by the theming on the outsides. With these, because you've got like the original, almost like scaffolding to go up, you actually feel the height of it, which actually adds to that like a sense of trepidation. So it's really quite scary. We got some awesome named rides and some awesome slides. Then we go down to what is more like the kids area, the Lazy River, obviously restricted in size. The Lazy Rivers up at Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are so much longer than these. Again, they've got the land to do it and the money. So, you know, they're still good, but can that bubble up like a giant inflatable where the kids would try to climb up, obviously being constantly wet. It was harder than what it looked. But once they got to the top, rewarded with a great slide down. And obviously with the energy kids up, back up again. An eternal circle. So that was pretty much it. The Wet and Wild concept. Thrill water park, I'd say it was. It's a shame that it didn't stand the test of time. They were investing in it constantly. They just couldn't keep up with the modern marketing and modern design of the more flash water parks. So a bit from history. If you look it up, you can see that the Wet and Wilds even opened up in Vegas for a little while. Unfortunately, there's a Vegas point where they were trying to keep up and get families there until they realised that families weren't spending money in the arcades and the casinos, mainly because kids and that were not allowed anywhere near the arcades and casinos. So the mums and dads who would like to have a quick go of gambling weren't able to. So it sort of revamped itself as more of an adult destination. So no more Wet and Wild. So that's the end of this one for today. Probably have a little break over the weekend, so we'll be back on Monday with Theme Park Map Monday. Come up with something new. Hope you're all staying safe. Hope you like social distancing is good. Stay at home. All these parks, apart from Wet and Wild, will be open one day for our enjoyment again. Hope this gives you a bit of a nostalgic viewing until that point. We'll see if we can come up with something maybe a bit modern, so something to look forward to for Monday. Stay safe, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.